So very, very, very odd, very interesting, and something that actually, the thing with Halloween, the first one, is that actually there's very little Halloween iconography within the film. It could be set any time, really. Whereas,
although the cinematography and everything, in terms of falling leaves and what have you,
but I mean, it's not. It's more about the whole babysitting culture rather than it's revolving around trick or treating or something like that. Whereas Halloween Season of the Witch is all about Halloween masks and stuff like that. So it's more on the nose in some ways. What else is there? I've not seen Trick or Treat.
Oh, I have seen Trick or Treat. That was our Halloween movie a couple of years ago. I rather liked Trick or Treat, although it had possibly been built up a bit too much for me.
I've heard lots and lots of good things.
Lots of people said, "Oh, really, really," very, very much. And so I think I was really geared up for a brand new classic. Yeah. It goes to some fairly dark places for a film that's quite mischievous. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was cool. One thing I actually, just before we move off it entirely, one thing I want to say about Halloween 3 that I think is interesting is that I've seen two different versions of it. I've seen one that's got all the violence cut out of it, the vast majority of the violence cut out of it, but somebody does say fuck in it. Right. And then, funnily enough, I also saw a version that's got all the violence in it, but they cut out the person saying fuck. And I always thought that was an intriguing sort of balance. And I've never seen a version where you do see all the unpleasantness with the mask and there's some unpleasantness with the drill, I seem to remember, and all that sort of thing. And I've never seen one where you see that, and yet the bloke is also able to say fuck. I've never seen the whole shooting match together. It's always been censored in one way, but not necessarily in the same way. Because I think that it partly suffered, unless I'm wrong, the original VHS release, which was Thorny MI, was round about the Video Nasty scandal. And they're so terrified of everything being a video nasty, getting labelled as a video nasty, that they cut the hell out of it before they submitted it to the BBFC, and then ended up with a 15 for it because they cut it so heavily. And then I think cut it even further for video release. Yeah. So I think that was the case. So that version was very, very heavily cut in terms of violence, but that was probably the one that had the fuck in it. But then the other version that was circulating was potentially a TV showing of it, which had gone back to another print, but then they bleeped the expletive for the TV audience. So I don't know if in this country they've still ever actually released a proper uncut version of it that isn't muted or diced about in some way. But that's just my censorship obsession kicking in.
No, that's an odd way of doing it. You can have it this or this.
Yes, exactly. You can either hear the grown-up Rudy word, or you can see all the horrid violence. Yeah. But you can't have both. You certainly can't have both. No.
This might be a good juncture to talk to the audience about what our costumes we've decided to wear today.
Oh, what, the ones that we're wearing at the moment?
Yeah. Since it's Halloween.
Absolutely.
So you've gone with
Scarlett O'Hara.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Which may not seem terrifying to you, but believe me,
it is.
It is. It's quite horrific.
It's Scarlett O'Hara trapped in one of the saw traps. And in fact, I found it very difficult to speak initially. Yeah. But luckily the hat gives an added girth to the head brace and enables me to speak.
It was a good choice to WD-40 up, otherwise we just had that creaking.
That irritating squeaking noise, and the one on the genitals as well, which every time I move, that, not only gets perilously closer to permanently rendering me as Scarlett O'Hara, but also it does make that irritating creaking noise. Yeah. And I also installed that little microchip so it sings that song as well. Right. But we don't want to sing the song because it'll just stick in everyone's minds. Yeah. Well done on that. Yeah, absolutely. The genitally chipped, saw-masked Scarlett O'Hara ensemble. Yeah,
it's truly horrifying.
It is, but quite sexy in an understated way.
In an understated way, very
brings out the beard.
So understated that I didn't think it was sexy at all.
Didn't you?
No,
didn't you?
Just horrifying.
Right.
I of course gone with Banana Man.
Yes,
but.
A strangely literal interpretation.
Yeah, but I wanted to make it a little bit scary, so obviously that explains the hook.
Yes. Which I'd been wondering about.
Yeah. So, Halloween in the future, where's it going to go? Is it all going to get terribly conservative and people say we shouldn't be celebrating? Didn't I see somewhere, and this might have been an American thing, so American people out there, you can tell me this is wrong, that there is people trying, a small movement of Christians trying to claim back this holiday.
Right.
And I swear the term that was being bandied around was Jesusween.
Jesusween sounds fantastic.
I mean,
I want a Jesusween T-shirt, even.
I mean, I think, first of all, that term sounds a little bit like what someone would say if they were trying not to swear.
Yes.
When they kick the bed. Jesusween!
Jesusween.
Obviously, there's the whole penis element to that as well, which is slightly worrying.
Hey, what penis element?
Well, wiener is a kind of a American.
I wouldn't have got that at all. I would have got the weaning, as in, stopping taking milk. I would have taken Jesusween as being the point where you get the baby Jesus onto solids. Or the full-grown Jesus, even.
I went straight to penis.
You went straight to penis, right?
Incidentally, I've always wanted to make a film set around Halloween involving a killer who kills people with a type of sausage.
Right.
And call it Halloweener.
Right, okay. Is that why you've already got the association with ween?
Possibly.
Because that's not one that any normal person would have made. I think everybody, hopefully, was sitting listening to this thing. What the hell is he talking about? The obvious penis thing.
I just feel that... I'm sure it's been used in... I've seen it in film stuff where people... where you can't swear, where people are referred to in a comic way, male genitalia as their wiener.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that happens.
And the shortened version,
but it's spelled differently. It's spelled differently.
No,
it's half a word. It's like it's an odd brain that makes that connection. I'd argue. And anyway, other than the obvious penis part, what was the other thing you were going to say about Jesusween?
I can't imagine what, because surely they've already got their own celebration.
Well, this is presumably it's like the normal one, except he's a skull.
No, yeah. Do people dress up as
carve a Jesus face into a pumpkin?
Dress up as Jesus and go and knock on people's doors, just treating them. Exactly. I don't know.
Treat or more treat. Treat or peace.
Bizarre.
I'll have some peace, please.
There is a worry for me that. As most things, it'll either go to the point where it gets so popular that suddenly it's like, oh no, we can't celebrate something so horrific, and let's cancel it. Which would not be good. But I mean, there's always going to be a segment of the population that really, really just hate it. Quite a big segment of the population. Whereas with something like Christmas, everyone can get on board for Christmas, or at least pretend to. Whereas there's an awful lot of, particularly the elder generation, who have managed perfectly well for the majority of their lives without kids knocking on their door and threatening to spray paint it. So they're always going to have a certain amount of resistance to it. And really, the way that they're going to creep it in is by marketing it to the kids, so the kids grow up with it. Curiously, I've always associated carol singers in the same... kind of bracket.
Have you had carol singers spraying fuck off on your... Because if so, you're not treating them correctly. No,
but at least if a kind of kid dressed in a skeleton outfit comes in and starts demanding sweets, you don't feel bad about shutting the door or saying, no, just go away. But when you've got a group of people who are singing at you, and it's Christmas, and you still shut the door on them, but you feel bad about it. And surely Christmas shouldn't be about making people feel bad.
No.
Shutting the door. So they shouldn't just bother in the first place. They should have designated carol singing areas which you choose to go and visit. So no, I prefer trick-or-treaters to carol singers.
Right.
Simply because there's less guilt involved with trick-or-treaters.
But carol singers don't tend to spray paint your house.
But bear in mind,
obviously I've still got the...
In personal experience, I've never had a negative experience with
it's always been good.
Yeah. So yes, Halloween's going to be marketed to kids.
Yes,
it's going to keep going.
I'm hoping that as far as the movies go, I think that the Halloween 2. I mean, what comes after a failed sequel to a failed reboot? Where they don't want to let the cycle go? I mean, are they just going to pretend that never happened and go on and follow on from the Halloween movie with Busta Rhymes on it?
Yeah.
Or are they going to try and reboot again? I mean, obviously the original stuff, the iconography and it culturally has had more impact than this mini remake cycle.
Yeah.
So what do they do? They're not going to let the franchise die.
There is already another remake in process, but it's a fan film.
Is there?
There's a guy who's...
I saw that. Yeah.
So there's that.
He's doing it for like 500 quid or something stupid, isn't he?
Which kind of makes more sense to me than what Rob Zombie was doing, to a degree. I think in this culture, it will be a case of when they hire a new director, it will just be rebooted. Or it will be a prequel or something like that. And they don't even have to wait that long now to reboot. They can just do it again.
Yeah.
Or it'll be straight to DVD, and it will not directly reference the previous two films, but won't ignore them. It'll just be Mike Myers turns up, or Michael Myers.
And he'll look somewhere between the Rob Zombie one and the original one. So,
but again, it's a curious one with Halloween. I mean, I know to me, Halloween has never been a film that really has warranted a franchise.
Right.
And I don't think we've quite got time to go into this, but Friday the 13th, I think, does. I think that works because the character is essentially ridiculous, but because Halloween is actually quite a serious film in some ways, it makes sense for him to be dead and gone at the end of that film and then finish it. And that as a one event, it's the night he came home. It's that evening, and that's gone. And every time I think he turns up in another film, just diminishes all the impact. You get more familiar with him, which is exactly counter to the point, and it just kills everything that works about him as a character. Whereas Friday the 13th starts shit, and it actually is kind of like one of those running jokes where it's funny because it's not funny,
because it's gone on for so long.
So I think I think they should leave it the fuck alone.
I think you're probably right. Okay, well, we hope that you have a fantastic little Halloween evening, whatever you're planning to do.
And a scary one.
Indeed, a scary one. However you choose to dress, however you choose to treat your trick-or-treaters, we want you all to love each other very, very much.
Don't spray paint fuck off on anyone's houses. You've seen the psychological impact.
Especially not mine.
Yeah.
I've been James Trick.
And I've been Dr. Gogol.
Or Dr. Treat. You could have been Dr. Treat, couldn't you? James Trick and Dr. Treat.
That'll be Dr. Treat.
Halloween is the only day.
That does sound like a paedophile.
No, to me,
hello, children. I'm Dr. Treat.
It sounds more like something in an Ann Summers window. It's like, it's the new vibrating Dr. Treat.
Pumpkin shaped.
Yeah, indeed. I'm Trick.
I'm Treat. Dr. Treat.
Take care and be scary, fiends.
Cue scary sound effect. No, I was going to put that on.
Oh, fuck it.